Shalom. Make sure this is Shalom. First and foremost, before I get started, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to where it's due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Chakodash, and double honors, as always, to the apostles, bishops, elders of Great Millstone, who were well, and who taught us the truth. Today's lesson will be entitled somewhere along the lines of the worst thing that we can do is fall out, is to leave, to give up. The worst thing that we can do is give up, man. Real quick, let's just get that definition of give up. Definition of give up. Cease making an effort, resign oneself to failure. So we do not want to resign ourselves to failure, man. Admit defeat. Concede to defeat. Call it a day. You don't want to call it a day, man. Call it a day. End a period of activity, especially resting content that enough has been done. Resting content. Yeah, I've done enough. I don't need to do no more videos. I've already done enough videos. I don't need to do no more. I've already prayed enough. I've already fasted enough. I've already read enough. I've read the Bible front to back. I don't need to read no more. I don't need to go out on the highways and byways no more. I don't need to be brotherly anymore. I'm just going to call it a day. I've done enough. But that's not what the scriptures say, man. Real quick, what does that say? And righteousness remembered. I believe this is how it goes. Yep. Ezekiel, we'll just get these two. Ezekiel 3:20, again, when a righteous man doth turn from his righteousness and commit iniquity, and I lay a stumbling block before him, he shall die. Because thou hast not given him warning, he shall die in his sin, and his righteousness which he hath done shall not be remembered, but his blood will I require thine hand. And that's not if you, and that's if you, don't warn him. In the NLT it says, if righteous people turn away from the righteous behavior and ignore the obstacles I put in their way, they will die. So that's the point. So you turn a man that turneth from righteousness to sin. It says, and if you do not warn them, they will die in their sins. None of their righteous acts will be remembered, and I will hold you responsible for their deaths. But if you warn, verse 21 in the NLT, but if you warn righteous people not to sin, and they listen to you and do not sin, they will live, and you will have saved yourself too. So I've done enough. You've never done enough, man. What does it say? Righteousness is filthy rags. Righteousness, filthy rags. Put it like this. How's it go? Righteousness. I know it's in Isaiah. Isaiah 64. Isaiah 64 and verse, okay, why didn't you let me scroll up? Isaiah 64 and verse 6. But we are all as an unclean thing, and all our righteousness are as filthy rags. And we all do fade as a leaf, and our iniquities like the wind have taken us away. So as righteousness is, not righteousness. Righteousness are as filthy rags. So everything that we do, is not enough, man. And it says filthy rags. So we had got that. So, you turn from righteousness to sin, it's not going to be remembered. Ezekiel 33:13, when I shall say to the righteous, that he shall surely live. If he trust to his own righteousness and commit iniquity, yeah, I've done enough. I've done enough righteousness today. All his righteousness shall not be remembered, but for his iniquity that he had committed, he shall die for it. Ezekiel 33:13. And we do not want to fall under that category, man. We do not want to fall under that category. Because what did it say? Definition of give up? No. Right here it says allow oneself to be taken over by an emotion or addiction. So we don't want to be what? We don't want to be taken over by our emotions either our addictions. Because it also says that, refrain from thine appetites in the Apocrypha. This is Ecclesiasticus or Sirach 18 verse 30. Go not after thy lust, but refrain thyself from thine appetite. So we can't concede, man. We cannot concede. Now let's get that word, the definition of concede. We cannot concede. Admit that something is, right here, number 2. Surrender or yield something that one possesses. And what do we possess? This truth, man. Through the spirit and power of Hashem Yahshua. That's what it says in Revelation 3. In verse 11. Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, and let no man, that no man take thy crown. Again, behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. Revelation 3:11. So we cannot, and that's what it's, surrender or yield something that one possesses. And this is what we possess, man. And we cannot let anything separate us from Yahweh Shem Yahshua, from this truth. And as it says in Romans 8:35-39, it says surrender, yield, give up. There's that word give up. Cease making an effort, resign oneself to failure. We do not want to fail, man. Because if you fail, going back to what we was going to start with, Luke 9 and verse 63, the last verse. Luke 9 and verse 62. Luke 9 and 62. And Yahweh said unto him, no man having put his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom of the Most High. So I'm going to get on the road, take us in transit, Lord willing, and so edifying our quotes from scriptures. So just like he said, man, like it said in Revelation 3 and 11, let no man, that no man take thy crown. We cannot allow anything to separate us from Yahweh Shem Yahshua. And if you do allow outside forces, external forces to separate you from Yahweh Shem Yahshua and cause you to look back, cause you to concede, cause you to give up, cause you to stir away from Yahweh Shem Yahshua, then you're not fit, man. You are not fit for the kingdom of the Most High. And we cannot allow these things to separate us from Yahweh Shem Yahshua, because that is the worst thing that we can do, is to allow an external force, an outside force, to separate us and cause us to fall out, cause us to give up. We got to be fortified in our minds. We got to be fortified in our spirit. We got to be fortified with Yahweh Shem Yahshua, no matter what is set in front of us, man. Speaking to myself, and I say that speaking to myself first and foremost, because it all starts with me, man. I'm not, I'm within my mind. As me as an individual, I can't blame anybody else but my own actions, what I do, how I walk, how I talk, how I conduct myself. So me speaking as myself, speaking, you speak to yourself, you talk, as it says, examine thyself whether you be in the faith. So it starts with me, man. And for you, it starts with you. And for them, it starts with them. It's nobody but you, man. You got the brotherhood. You got your brothers. You got the ministry. You got Yahweh Shem Yahshua, man. But it starts with you. It starts with me. And this, we got to examine ourselves and make sure that we are walking that straight path. That we are walking that straight path and not that broad path. Because we know, as it says in Matthew 7, that broad path leads to destruction. And I believe when you get in the NLT, it says the highways of hell. So like I said, but what? The straight path, which when you go into straight, STRAIT, it just goes into a degree of difficulties. That leads into life. That leads into salvation. Rest. We want rest, and these individuals who fall out, like I said, man, resting, as when we got that word concede, it said what? Resting in the fact, roughly paraphrase, resting in the fact that they've done enough. I've done enough, but what does it say, man? What does it say, man? In Isaiah 62:6, it says, I'm at this stoplight, so let me just get it real quick before it changes green. Isaiah 62 and verse 6. And it reads, I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace, day nor night. Ye that make mention of the Lord Yahweh, keep not silence, and give him no rest, till he establish, until he make Jerusalem a praise in earth. So we cannot give the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahshua no rest. That's what it says in Micah 2:10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. But you have individuals who fall out, believing that this is their, I've done enough. We cannot have that mindset. What does it say? I'm still at the stoplight. Remember Lot's wife. She looked back. Luke 17 and verse 32. Thought it was something in the Apocrypha going into it. Luke 17 and 32. Remember Lot's wife. So we got to remember, as it says in, I believe, Romans 15 and 4, I believe. The things written aforetime was written for our learning, so that we, through comfort of the scriptures, might have hope. Roughly paraphrasing. So we learn from these previous examples, these previous situations and instances that individuals went through, man, and we learn from it. Lot's wife turned back, and when what? She was turned into a pillar of salt. She didn't make it. But what happened to Lot and his two daughters that didn't turn back, that didn't look back, that didn't reminisce of the things they had in Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighboring 5 cities? What happened? They were saved. We have these examples of individuals that did do the will of the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahshua, that did hearken to his message, that did hearken to his words and was saved. And we have instances and situations and historical facts, man, of individuals that didn't listen to Yahweh Shem Yahshua, that didn't hearken unto his name, that didn't listen to his message, and was judged. We have these examples, man. Like King Saul. King Saul was told to kill the Amalekites. And what did he do? He didn't do that. The Lord told him to kill everything, man. And he didn't. So he was judged for that, man. We have these examples, and there are examples that we want to follow after, and then there are examples we do not want to follow after, man. We want to follow after those righteous examples. We do not want to follow after those wicked examples. Because the wicked examples believe that they're doing right when they're not. The wicked examples believe that they're not in the wrong. Accountability. They don't have accountability, man. I just look back. Well, the Lord said not to look back. We have these examples, man. And the worst thing that we can do is give up. Because giving up means you wasn't giving up means that you thought you done enough. As I said, I was gonna pull it, but it slipped my mind. But 1 Peter, I believe 1 Peter 1, maybe 2 Peter 1, 2 Peter 2, 1 Peter 1, 1 Peter 2, somewhere around there. Going into how that Lord willing, I'll put in the comment section and pin it. But going into how, you came into this truth, you was enlightened, with the glories and the promises that was given unto us, and you come into this truth, and then you turn from righteousness to sin, and you turn back to the world, man. It said that, and it says that you was better off that you came not into the truth, man. You was better off just staying in the world. You didn't count the cost, man. It said, and then it said you're as a dog that returned to his vomit, as a clean pig that turns back to the mud. We do not want to be that clean pig that turns back to the mud, man. We don't want to turn back to the mud. We don't want to turn back to the vomit. We don't want to turn back to the wickedness and the ungodliness, because it's going to be worse off for us, man. The servant that knew his master's command, and began to eat and drink with the men servants, beat the men servants, roughly paraphrasing. It said that he's going to be beaten with many stripes. We do not want to be the individuals that are in the darkness, man. The Lord Yahweh Shem Yahshai called us to be separate, called us out to be holy, to be different than these individuals, man. And we cannot allow the darkness, the gross darkness that surrounds the society to engulf us and to trap us in the abysses of hell, man, in the darkness. Because it's getting dark out here, it's getting scary, as it says in 2 Timothy. For in the last days perilous times shall come. So we are in scary times, and we cannot allow these things to separate us from Yahweh Shem Yahshai, man. Where this is the final countdown. The end draweth nigh. We're at the end, man. So we got to go harder now than ever. So Lord willing, this lesson was edifying to the spirit, to the body, and to the fold. And before I end it off, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to where it's due to Yahweh, Baha Hashem Yahushai, Baha Hashem Kodash. And double one as always to the apostles, bishops, elders of Great Millstone. Until next time, Shalom.